So the other day I was asked, well, I was being told about a situation with one of the women that I trained, and she was telling me about a guy, and this guy who really she's not into him. So she's not into this guy, but she's still kind of allowing this relationship to happen, and of course she's going out on dates with him and things like that, but she's not really into him. So we were talking about this relationship and how, sometimes in our lives we get into a place where we start to settle for, let's put it in terms of like nutrition. We start to settle for something that's less filling, it's not completely nutritious, it's not really satisfying, but it is essentially just filler in our life. It's just filling up some space. The relationships are filling up some space. They're just occupying our time because, we're waiting for something better to come along. But what happens is, in that time when you are just using this filler, where you are really you're going, it's like going to the table and eating, but never being satisfied. You're just eating cotton candy. There's no nutrition in it. There's nothing that's building you up. And sometimes relationships can be that way. And as a woman, if you're not as strong as you are really meant to be, and if you don't feel good about yourself, you can at times, and it's not just a woman's issue, men are the same way. When you don't feel good about who you are, you can settle for less than what you deserve. And you'll find yourself, when you're settling for less, continually to come back, and you're looking for someone to provide for you when they never will, because they don't have it in them. They don't have it in them to give to you. And so you will find yourself living a life that is so much smaller and so much more incomplete than what you really desire. And we all have those internal conversations where we're telling ourselves what we really feel about a situation. And there are times when we can't tell anyone else, but we know. That internal dialogue is very, very real. And so when you're just going out on dates and you're just hanging out with guys that you're not really into, they're essentially taking up space in your life when you could be, doing things that better yourself, doing things that make you stronger, do things that help build you up. And then, here's what I believe. I believe that in nature, in science, they say that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And so while you're building yourself up to be strong, I believe that someone else, somewhere else, can be building themselves up to be strong too. And then when the two of you finally come together, then you just know it's right. You know that you're in the midst of something very special, because what you've been longing for, that person's been longing for. And when you get into that place, it's worth not having certain dates. It's worth not letting someone be close to you, because you finally realized everything you really desired. And so don't waste your time. Don't waste their time. It stinks being by yourself sometimes, but it'll be so much more worth it when you finally realize the relationship that you really wanted. And you can take that across the board. The job you really wanted, the business that you really wanted, the car you really wanted, anything, the outfit, it's all worth the wait. Don't settle for something less when you know you really want something more.